Welcome back. It's your girl, the real Kiki, and I'm on the floor. It's been a long time coming. There's a story that needs to be told. So many thoughts that just run through your head. I'm really just starting to feel like my purpose is to save lives and not necessarily like CPR, but I am certified, but more so of just being that voice of enlightenment. Just having to deal with so many different situations and figuring my way out of those situations. I just feel like it's beneficial when you have someone who has actually experienced something, that's self relatable, that they can pull you out of what you're going through. I was originally born in Texas. I'm a Texas girl all day. Like, there's no place like home. Shout out to all my family members that still live in Texas, majority of them. And that's just home. But it was the story, it was life events that got me to Georgia. And it was a year after I was born, and my mother decided to move to Georgia to get away from abusive man, which is my older sibling on my mom's side. My brother, my sister, their father, they have the same father, and my mother said that he was an abusive man and she had to leave. And she had just had me, and of course, previously, you already know that my dad was incarcerated for the majority of my childhood life. And it was just one day where we was in our apartment in the projects in Griffin, Georgia. And my mom, she was cool. She didn't play. She'd take us to church. If we don't do right in church, we all get a whooping together at the door, one by one. If you messed up, I didn't do nothing, I'm taking your whooping. She was like one of those, but she bought us stuff, she fed us, she clothed us, she did what she could do. In the beginning, it was just my mother and myself, who moved to Griffin, Georgia. And I didn't even know I had siblings at that age. Um, just me and my mom. She worked a lot, and she had ended up gaining relations with the church that she had started to go to in Griffin, and they were very nice, Apostle Pundits, and they used to watch me and keep me all the time. While my mother worked mornings, nights, weekends. I mean, it doesn't matter. I know I was over there a lot. They was family, they treated my family. I always called them my grandparents. At the time, I was a baby, so I didn't really know my grandmother early at the time, where I could remember her. And I never met my grandfather at all. I did just recently value information about him, but I never got to meet him. And so my mom used to drop me off and go to work, and I would have the whole neighborhood, the whole block, just our friends. We knew the neighbors across the street. It was a friendly neighborhood. Where the apostle ponders my play grandma, my play granddad, is what I used to always call them. And they knew everybody in the neighborhood, and some of them was their relatives. So we all used to play outside, and we just have fun. I just learned so much from them, and my mom ended up being sick mentally and physically. She was diagnosed with diabetes at an early age, And also, she used to have blackouts and, as she stated, minor heart attack. You know, while she used to work. And the doctor, he, pretty much told her, like, what if I told you? And this was like 90s, early 90s, And this was, he was like, what if I told you you don't have to work anymore? And he ended up releasing her from work and putting her on disability for the rest of her life. So she got to be at home more, and it was beneficial because that's when I found out I had siblings. Because one day I woke up, she was like, "I think it's the airport with your brother and sister." Like, brother and sister. I didn't even know I had brothers and sisters. So she did. She went and she dropped me off at Huntersbridge, the trailer home in Lovejoy, Hampton, Georgia, with my aunt and cousins, and they went to the airport, got my siblings. So they came back with my brother and my sister, and I mean, my brother was like, "This is my sister. This is my sister. Oh my gosh, I love her. I love her. She's so cute. She's so cute." He just kept kissing all my face, kept kissing all my face, and I was happy to see them. And then, of course, I had an older sister, um, who was the middle child. So we was kicking it, He was playing outside in the projects. We had our friends. My mom was nice. She'll let us go outside. Even if the street lights would come on, we'll ask to go catch the firefly, the fireflies, lightning bug, close. We'll go outside and do that and have fun. And, it was just a lot of, when you're younger, you don't really pay attention to everything around you or every detail, or recollect. But as we get older, you find out the truth behind some things. And my brother did tell me that one day, he said that he was getting beaten. I know we used to get whooped a lot. I mean, enough at least. But I don't remember my mom actually beating us at that age. I never got a beating from her. I had a best friend, and I let this best friend say I don't know where she's at. But she cut my hair when I was asleep. And mama was below. Okay, she was so mad at me. Like I did anything. Like I did something. Like I let her do it. And she beat me with something Christmas ball. She whipped me in something Christmas ball, whatever it was. I woke up to present. This wasn't a favorite all I wanted. But she found out. I found out later on. She thought I let my friend cut my hair, but I didn't let her cut my hair. She just did it. And I don't know where Marshawn is at. I haven't seen her in a long time. But my brother said at this time. Now, when my mom stopped working and she got my siblings, we didn't go over to Apostle Ponder's house like that anymore because my mom didn't need a babysitter. She was at home. She was on disability. She take care of bills. She was with us all day. So it was cool. But my brother said he was gonna be, and he said that he made a phone call to my grandma, Earlene, rest in peace to my grandmother, Earlene, who lived in Texas, who had my brothers and sisters when me and my mom just moved to Christian, Georgia. And he told my grandma that my mom was beating on him and hitting him beside his head and hitting his head against the wall and things like that. He was tired. He was ready to go. So my grandma said, "Oh yeah, all right, I'm finna get y'all. I'm finna get y'all back here, and we gonna tell her that I just want to see y'all. Like y'all come to visit me, but y'all ain't coming back." And my brother knew that, and I never knew that. And he recently told me that on a conversation that I had with him while he was incarcerated. But I was like, wow, that's crazy. So on my side was I knew they had left, and I knew that it was like one of those vacations because they were in school already, but I was not. We all were here apart, so I wasn't in school yet. So they had gone, they had left, dipped. So that's just me and my mom, and we chilling, and she loved Ricky Lake. My mother used to love Ricky Lake. I'm talking about, I love Ricky Lake. It was cool. But she was watching Ricky Lake one day in the living room, on the sofa, and I was eating rice, and I used to love, love, love rice. I used to love rice. but with sugar in it. I used to love rice with sugar. I'm not going to debate with you all that love salt and pepper in a rice versus sugar. I'm not going to have that conversation today. Another time on the floor cast. But I love sugar in my rice, sugar and butter in my rice when I was little. And I ate it, and apparently I wanted some more, and I ate some more. And my mom told me this part that I did not know. She said that I had started throwing up because I ate so much rice. And when I was done throwing up, I asked for more rice, and she gave me some more rice. I remember I asked for more rice. I don't remember the part throwing up. She gave me some more rice, but then I was eating the rice, and she was just staring at me like she went from watching Ricky Lake on the couch to just like this is the couch she's on, it's the TV display, the black couch, so nice, the gold little button. And I'm at the table, nice glass table in the living room, in the dining room area, right here in our apartment, 2-bedroom apartment. And she's just staring at me, like she's just staring at me like crazy. She's staring at me. And I mean, after a while, I was like, just trying to figure out why she was staring at me. She just kept staring at me. And she just got up and she just started hooping and hollering. She just started speaking in tongues. And we went to a Baptist church at that time. And I love Baptist church, non-denominational churches. Just the Holy Spirit is real. God is real. God love is real. The protection is real. And for whatever reason that the devil, the enemy had planted on my life, he didn't want me to walk with God. He didn't want me to learn about God, know about God, change these people's lives, and just be that light on people's path. Because my mother had turned the church that night into a chaotic house. And she was hooping and hollering, and she's walking up and down the hallway, the long hallway of her apartment, and she's yelling at me. And she's like, get out, get out, get out, get out. And she's calling me a devil. She's calling me Satan. And I'm 3. I'm like 3. So, excuse me. And she just won't stop. And I'm at the table and I'm just crying and crying. And she's like, get out, devil, get out, devil. And she running up and down the hallway, But now to the point where I done got up out the chair because she started telling me to get out. So I'm confused. So I get up out the chair, and I walk behind the chair, and she's like, get out, devil, devil. Say, get out. And then after that, she's just yelling, and she's coming and she's choking me. She's choking me and she's telling me to get out. Like she's telling me to get out. And I'm crying. I get out the house. I walk out there, I'm walking out the house. And I'm standing at the door of our apartment. The door is wide open. My mom is yelling back and forth. Devil, I rebuke you, Satan. Just going rampage. And we had a neighbor downstairs where she was an older lady. I don't remember how she looked. I remember how her house looked a little bit because she's a candy lady and had those freezy cups. Y'all remember those freezy Kool-Aid cups? The best. Like 50 cents. They're so delicious. But the lady told us that every time we used to run upstairs and things like that, because my mom used to let us have our friends over, that we knock her pictures down off her wall. And she had told us if we knock her picture down off her wall again, she was going to call the cops on us. And my mom was doing all that stuff. And I'm at the door and I'm crying. The neighbor across the hall is directly right there. It was a man, a lady, which was his wife, and their daughter. She's like in high school. And I used to see them all the time. We didn't know them like that. We didn't speak to them. But they were just at the door, just watching, just staring. The guy had on glasses, and the woman was just, they was in order of alignment, and they was watching. And I'm just crying. I'm just crying. I'm just crying. They're not saying anything. They don't know what to do. And they see my mama with the door open. I'm outside of the door. She's just going crazy, calling me devil, saying just all this mess. She choking him out the door. It was a mess. And I don't know how long it went on, but I ended up back in the apartment in the love seat, sleep. I was knocked out. Love seat, sleep. And it was nobody but God. I know. Because when you wake up out of your sleep, you'll think it's insomnia, but it's really God trying to get your attention. He's trying to tell you something. He's trying to tell you something that you need to hear while the world is being still and sleep. And your environment is not chaotic or being moved. Now you have undivided attention with yourself, with your inner self, with your spirit, with your soul, mind, body. Now you have power. You have to be obedient and listen. Even if you don't know God for yourself, just begin meditating and talking to yourself. And just start asking, what is your purpose? Why are you here? What is next for you? And God will reveal himself to you in ways where it'll be so clear that you think you're overthinking. And I say that because I was asleep somehow. However, I got back in the apartment and I'm asleep on the couch in the room, not even in my bedroom. And I woke up. I ended up waking up. And when I woke up, my mom was at the door talking to a cop. The police was at the door. And right when I woke up, they was just about to leave. And she like, yeah, she ain't asleep now. She's asleep. And just smiling at her. And they like, oh, look like she got up now. Like, let's talk to her. Can we talk to her? And she like, yeah. And I remember this. As a little girl, I remember this. And I got up. They told me to get up. And I got up. And it was been nice and sweet. And like I said, I didn't know my mom was an evil person. That was the first time I seen her spaz out. But then if you recollect that she's been diagnosed with mental illness due to the blackouts and the heart attack. But then when they took her off of work and gave her medicine and prescriptions that I didn't know about, of course, at that time. If she was taking them or if she was misdosing them or if she mixed them with while she was intoxicated or had any type of substance in her body, I don't know. But the officer wanted to talk to the cop. And he was a white cop. And he asked, and he had me outside, and it was like the porch, like we was upstairs at apartments, like I said, and it was only 2 levels, 2 floors, so we're on the second floor. So it was like the patio right here, but it's the neighbor's door, our door, and then you can see the back porch. This is the porch back there. It was like a patio where you go sit your own or sunroom, you know. And then it extends out to over here where you can see the front of the building, and it had the balcony rail. And he was asking questions. So what happened to something? My mom was talking to me. My mom was talking to me. I was talking to me. I was talking to me. And he's like, are you lying? Do you want me to hit you with this? And the little thing that they be having. I don't know what's called right now, but that, I'm not a cop. But yeah, so, you know, you turn your sad days are good days. What the devil meant for your bad, it turned out for my good. And I'm going to smile and laugh through this journey and this testimony that I'm telling you all because at one time it was sensitive and I cried. I couldn't talk about it, get it out. But now I'm like, oh, I'm peaceful and comfortable and I'm happy. So he threatened me with that thing, like, do you want me to hit you with this thing? And I'm like, no. And he's like, are you telling the truth? I'm like, yeah. And I mean, to the point where he believed me and he said, come on, let's go. And he would look at my mom like, come on, let's go to the police station, put on our clothes and stuff. They take us, me and my mother, they put us in a police car. They take us to the police station. Next thing you know, I'm at DFAX. I'm in the system. I have been taken from my mother at 3 years old, and I have been placed in foster care. So that day, I'm there at the DFAX, like whatever. I don't even know I slept that night or anything. Like I don't even know how that process worked. But I still remember being in that office because during the visitation where they was having, my aunt at the time now, she stepped in because she was the closest sister that my mom knew in Georgia and was a reason why my mom felt like she had an escape plan from the abusive baby father, child's father, her kid's father, and moved to Atlanta with her sister, but that didn't turn out right. So that's for another time. But now she's here, have to be to the rescue. And she came and visited me in this office setting that I'm at where they got like the little kids block and the carpet and stuff. And she's like talking to me, being nice and telling me, you know, do I remember her? And I'm like, yeah, I remember you. And she's like, what's your name? I'm like, you know, like, what's her name? I'm like telling her. And, you know, just this process. And they were going through court to get custody of me. My mom had got me taken from her, but my brother and sisters, remember, God working mysterious ways. My brother called for help and not even knowing the circumstances that was getting ready to take place, but that was God's will because 3 kids could have went into foster care, but it was only one. My brother and sister was safe and sound in Texas with my grandma during this whole process. And myself, I had to go to one foster care where it was other foster kids there. And to this day, the way that I ran into my first foster mother was just amazing. That's a different story for a different day. But I was there at her house for a while, I don't know, months. And I mean, I even attended one of the kids' their graduation, so I don't know. And everything is documented. I have the court papers. But from that foster care, where I did learn a lot. I learned little cute things, like how to eat spaghetti or wrap it around the fork with the meatball. That was cute. And, you know, just fun. It was fun. And to this day, I call my first foster mother my godmom. And she lives in that same house where I reside there when I was in foster care. She lived in the same house, same food, everything. It's amazing. So when God says that He don't take nothing from you, I'm a living witness to show you He don't take anything from you. Anything that you thought got taken from you, He give it back. And if He don't give it back, you get more and double. You get it multiplied. You understand what I'm saying? Whether it's your kids, whether it's money, whether it's peace, whether it's stability, love, joy, you get it back in doubles. So after that, my aunt and uncle were still fighting for me, but they didn't want to fight to get my brothers and sisters. Even though they was not in the system, they was not trying to get them back to Atlanta. They rather them just stay in Texas because they felt like they were already too bad. They felt like they could brainwash them already. That's what I would call it. But with me being a baby, I'm teachable, I'm trainable, I'm gullible. That's what you should call it because that's how they treated me. So from that foster care, going through the court system, my mom was required to do parenting classes and everything else from the son to get her child back, her baby back, her little baby, her last born, her baby girl, and she didn't. The agreement was my uncle pretty much just told her like, hey, just go to Texas, go back home with your mom, with my grandma, with your other 2 kids, and we'll just take over for this one. It was my uncle's idea. He'll tell me to this day. He's the one who wanted to adopt me. It was his reason. He'd be like, I got that baby, I got that baby, I got that baby. You know, I don't know, you know. But I know now because growing up, it's like, okay, you a Scorpio like me, about that money, about that dollar, about that check. And you knew that was income, and it was income for the household. And it was a time where not only do we not want her to go, but we'll get her back and we'll put it here. It was all about the money because the way that it happened, it was diabolical. So, boom. I ended up going to another. I ended up getting visitation rights with my aunt, and I was in her home now and not the foster care. At this time now, I'm in pre-K. I'm enrolled in pre-K now. And my mom, she's let my mom come over to visit me and stuff like that. And then it was the last time where, I mean, every time my mom would leave, I would cry. I would scream out the window. I didn't understand it. I didn't get it, you know. It was horrible. And it was one time she let me go over there to my mom's house. And my mom was doing my hair and stuff. I'm like, I stopped playing with my friends. I'm happy. And unexpectedly, defects popped up. They popped up. My caseworker, this guy, he was cool and nice. I don't know him I don't know him from campaign, but he was cool. But they came in there and got me from my mom while she was doing my hair, and I was crying. It was so crazy. I never forget to say my life was horrible. And they was taking me from her. She was screaming and stuff. And they get me downstairs to the car, and I'm getting in the car. I'm in the front seat, and I'm just reaching. I never forget my life. I'm just reaching at the window, the window shield, and my mom was just reaching down from the top of the balcony that I was discussed. Where the man was like, "Do you need you?" She reached out like this. I'm just crying. That's horrible. And then the man, the social worker guy, he's like, "I got this book for you, like a mermaid book, Ariel," and it was a nice book. It was actually a great book. And we went from there. So they were letting her know. She now I didn't know that she couldn't go over there. They're like, "No, she can't go over there," you know, stuff like that, whatever. And they ended up taking me not to my aunt's house, but they ended up taking me to another foster care lady house. This lady lived in an orange house. It was orange with green porch. And I was like, even that young, I just was looking at the house like, no, that's kind of cool because my birthday is the day for Halloween. This lady got a Halloween house. She got a pumpkin house. And the lady was cool. She was nice and sweet. She used to take me to church and Sunday school early. She was a Sunday school teacher. But, I don't know, she was kind of strict. Um, and rewind that, I'm thinking I was in preschool. I wasn't in preschool yet. I'm still not in school. So I'm still three. I wasn't in school yet. Scratch that. Because I remember, because when I went to this lady house, I wasn't in school either. I went in school. I was a baby. I'm three still. And the lady, she was like, "You have to be good all week. So, watch good movies." She had all these movies. She had all these movies. She had all these movies. She had all the tapes. She had all the tapes. You have the tape, and it'll have like the case. Yeah, the thick case, like Blockbusters, And that was cute. She had it all. Lion King, Matilda, she had it all. And she let me be good all week, and I'm thinking that we're gonna watch all the movies. Y'all shouldn't be watching one movie. And they let me watch one movie. Luckily, I picked Matilda because I love Matilda. And soon Matilda went out, then she fell asleep. When Matilda went out, she was like, "Okay, let me go to sleep." And I'm like, okay. And she was cute though. She was nice. She used to have me like in a matching little sleeping gown outfit with the shirt, like with the tank top, short. She was nice. Had Simba, Bear, it was cute. She kept my hair down. She had friends, whatever. So it was cool, but I don't think she was like. I'm not really sure if she could have kids or anything, what her purpose was, but I don't really think she was doing the foster care thing. I felt like it was probably like even a little too much on her without even barely doing nothing. It's just being responsible. And even at that time, she had found a little boyfriend from church or something. They was dating, and she'll let me stay at her friend's house. Her friend do my hair for her kids when she go out. She probably realized that she had a life. I don't know, but I was only there for a little bit with her, and I transferred back to my first foster care, with whom I call my godmother to this day. And I stayed there for a longer period of time. Now, the court thing was over by this time. My aunt and uncle want custody of me. My mom didn't even go to court. She didn't even go. My sister get mad because my mom ended up going to court with her one time in Texas over something that they had going on with some legal custody stuff as well. And my sister said, "My mom put it in and said she don't want to take her. I don't want to take her." And that really messed with my sister to this day mentally, actually. But besides that, besides that, when they did get custody of me, I moved with them in a trailer home, Thunder Ridge, in Clayco. And that's when I began pre-K in Forest Park. So that's what I was 4. As we can see, the process took a year. And my birthday was late, and I started school late. So look at that. Just going through those experiences and just realizing, like, I thought my mom was going to come get me. I always thought she was going to come get me. I never stopped thinking she was going to come get me until I got, like, to high school. When I got to high school, I thought she never come get me. I mean, when I got to 8th grade, I asked her, when you come to get me? Like, elementary, when you come to get me? And she like, I'm going to get you when I get better. And it was like, my mom started picking her own life. She already had it planned out, though, when she left. She felt like I was in a good stability, stable home. But then it's like she really wasn't worried about it. Like, she really wasn't worried about it, you know. She would be with my brothers and sisters all the time in Texas. But my grandma was raising them. My mom was depressed, you know. And then I realized my mom, she really having problems. She's diagnosed schizophrenic, bipolar, you know. And it's like all that love and care, she just stopped being responsible for it immediately. And it's like she's like the baby of, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 kids. But she always let them run over her and control her. And she don't like how they treated her. That's why she always left. And moved far from them, did her own thing. You know, she was just doing much as she can. And that was praying for us, praying for her kids. That's all she was, like, really good at, praying for us, reading her Bible. And I know the prayers work. And she just couldn't be, like they say, everybody not supposed to have kids. Well, I thank God I'm here. And you just have to know your purpose. God said, don't think that you're lonely and you don't have parents. I am your parent. I'm your father. I provide your needs and your wants. And I know God provided for me because I could have stayed in that predicament, but I did end up getting adopted by a family member, my mom's sister. And it still kept me intact with my family. But the position that I was in with my mom not caring about my well-being, my safety, my health, my mental, and no one taking the time out to explain to this little girl, whether I know what's going on or not. Even one time my auntie like, you remember that? You remember that? And I'm like, yes, why would I forget it? They said something traumatic always happened in your life, you always know it. But they never sat down with me and just talked to me about what was going on, or what was happening, or why I'm here, or like, we come over here and see y'all, but we wasn't really like spending the night and all that stuff. Like I really don't know y'all, you know what I'm saying? And it was like I was just put there, and I would not talk around them. I had no personality around them. But when I had school, I had all the personality. I was a social butterfly. And they always be like, she don't even talk at home. And don't you know that kids have to be comfortable? Everybody know that by now, right? Kids have to be comfortable to even talk to you. They don't know you. Who are you? And I grew up like that. I grew up having to be like silent and controlled. I mean, immediately, once we moved to Panhandle, in front of Summer Creek, I'm in kindergarten now, and I have chores. Sweep the floor, sweep the bathroom, do this, do that. And then it went from your kids not doing anything, and they're all older than me, 5 to 6 years older than me. My one cousin, he was 3 years younger than me. But you have these 2 older kids in this house, and all of a sudden, all these years went by, and I've been Cinderella. I done turned to Cinderella. And it was like, it wasn't love there, like genuine love. It wasn't communication. It was just like, what you call it? Torture. It was not about me having a Christmas, or me having a birthday, or me having gifts, or me having a few friends that I could play with at the time before I was on restriction and stuff. But it was about love, protection, comfort, having your back, feeling like you're safe, feeling like you can voice yourself. But out of all the trauma that I went through, they put me in that zone, and it was like she structured me to be a robot. A year younger, kindergarten, boom, you cleaning the floors, you helping with the dishes. Then that turned into, then a couple years after that, elementary school, still it turned into, now I'm cleaning up your room for you and your husband, making up your bed, cleaning your bathroom, dusting every furniture in the house, sweeping, mopping, washing dishes, cleaning all the bathrooms, washing everybody's clothes in the house. Everybody, yours, your husband, your kids. Vacuuming the whole house, upstairs and downstairs. Every day. Every day, it was like, Monday, sweep the floor, do all your chores and sweep the floor. Tuesday, do all your chores and dust the whole house. Thursday, or whatever day I'm at, Wednesday, do all your chores and vacuum the house. Thursday, do all your chores and do laundry. Friday, do all your chores. Saturday, the whole house gonna clean. Everybody gonna clean up today. No, everybody clean. It was just me and her. Scrubbing baseboards, floor, all that. And I'm the woman I am to this day because of the training, the early advanced training, the military structure, whatever you want to call it. But I didn't need that type of training to be the woman that I am to this day because it was already in me. You can't plant something that's not already in someone. You can tell somebody clean their room every day. That means they're going to do it until they come home. They have to be willing to do it. Even being trained that young. Clean up the whole house and then get in trouble because my room not clean. I didn't clean the whole house. I'm too tired. I can't clean mine. Her rule was, come home, get your snack, you clean up my house before you do your homework. Because I worked all day and I'm not coming home to do all this. When you married with the kids, when you that young, you don't do nothing. I used to just sit on my purple flower rug and I used to just write. And I used to just say when I turned 18, I'm leaving this house. I used to say I can't wait till my mom come get me. Me and my brother to be back together. Excuse me. I used to say I'll be a superstar. I love to sing. I want to be a singer. I want to be a rapper. I want to be a dancer. I used to just write, meditate to myself. I just felt like I didn't have a voice. I felt like nobody really cared about my feelings or what I went through, what I dealt with, or what I had to deal with at that young age. But I always walked around with a smile on my face. I miss my mother a lot. I miss her a lot. And then whenever my dad got out and I started to build a relationship with him, she tried to take that away. I don't know, this and this. But it was about a check. I didn't know until I moved out at 18, 3 days after my birthday, that they were getting government assistance for me being there. The food stamps, the TANF. I didn't know that. I was working like a slave all my life. I could get no allowance. I didn't have a savings account, checking account for them. I didn't have a car for them when I graduated. I got my own car. My tax money. I didn't have a college fund or a college savings. When I graduated from high school by myself, when I ever get help back, I enrolled my own self in college. FAFSA. Shout out to financial aid. I wasn't taught how to live or survive. I was taught how to do for others. I was taught how to be taken advantage of and being silent and quiet. Whether it was molestation, mental abuse, physical abuse. I grew up uncomfortable. I was ready to leave for a long time. I started running away at 15, 16. My mama never tried to come get us back. Even for the holidays that we visit Texas and went to see my siblings, my mom, she wasn't trying to get us back. Even to the point where she had moved on with her own life, just not take care of her health. Just listening to those lies that those men was telling her, using her, taking advantage of her for her money, abusing her mentally and physically. And me just always chasing her, trying to keep up with her, trying to find out where she at. Every time I call her, she's unstable now, leaving a friend on the couch. They're taking advantage of her mom, her money. My mom's very nice, sweet, humble, mentally ill, schizophrenic, bipolar. You don't know how to, but she's sweet. She has a big heart. She has a great heart to others. And I just always cared for her like a baby because I knew she didn't have no guidance, no protection, no coverage. She didn't have that real family love, genuine. Someone really just took her in and just cared for her. They all just mentally abused and used her. And then they tried to do me the same way. And I'm not going to say them. It was just the household I grew up in. All my other family's cool. They love me, they real. I have no problem. And it's like, people feel like they teach you to have tough skin so you can survive in the real world. But do you know that all you're doing is attracting negativity to that person's life by introducing them to those negative vibes and those spirits that want to attack and block the blessings that God has ordained for them? I used to have the quickest temper ever. Boom. 0 to 100,000 real fast. You couldn't tell me nothing. I mean, our reflex would be like, what? Because I grew up being tormented, traumatized, bullied. Don't get me wrong. When some of my cousins, those other cousins used to try to bully me, my aunt used to step up for me at my back. I mean, it was obvious that I was a little girl. But then when she did it, what? But then I always wanted to fight for her. It was just the secrets and the traumas. It was never a safe environment. They say, oh, you didn't go without nothing. You act like you was starving. This and this. Oh, you. It don't matter. It's what's in my heart. You made me cold. I'm literally just now starting to accept that everyone is not the same. Everyone is not out to get you. Everyone is not out to destroy you. Everyone is not to bring you down, break you down, crush you. It's a lot of people that are. But you still have to give people second chances. You still have to let people prove themselves. And if they fail, then you shut that door and keep moving. But that little girl that was taken out of that home with her mother at a young age has literally just started learning how to heal from that tragic incident that happened years ago. Forgiving my mom through so much pain, I used to start being mean to her. After a while, when I got in my teens, I used to be mean to my mom. I used to call her. She don't say the right thing, I'd be mean. See her, be mean. Cause I was hurt. And I just didn't understand and get it. And I'm like, you putting men, not different men, but the relationship, you was in two relationships. One, my dad, who was just all over the place when he got out. And then the last guy. He has definitely reaped what he sowed. He's still incarcerated. And my mom, we said, ended up being wheelchair bound, blind, very sick. And I did open welcome arm and hands and brought my mom to Atlanta, Georgia to reside with me and my husband. And we took great care of her. And the trauma that she just went through after that coma that she was put in due to that incident at her sister's house. And I had to go over there and call 911 and save her life. it just still showed me at the end of the day, your mom is always just going to be your mother. And you're always going to want that love and affection for your mom. You're always going to want to seek that attention for your mom. If the world denies you, your parents are supposed to be the ones that love you. But that's not the world we live in. We live in a world where you have to live every day like you were the only person here. If your parents didn't teach you how to cook, get on YouTube University and teach yourself. There's no room for excuses anymore. Because your situation could always have been worse. And don't get me wrong when I don't have those flashbacks like, what did I do to deserve this pain or this neglect or abandonment? But then I can count so many times where my mom showed me love, care, and comfort. And I can count on several fingers and toes, arm, legs, head of times where I feel like she wasn't there for me and she crossed me and turned her back and just wasn't that period that you expect that you deserve, but life is not fair, and who are you to say what you deserve? Because even with the chaotic house that I grew up in and the abandonment, neglect, and the bullying and things I had to go through and stuff I had to go through, I still made it work for me. We could close our door, we couldn't lock it. Unless we needed to, like, change it. Or I stay on the phone, with my friends all day. I'm sleeping on the phone, I don't care. I got the cell phone under the bed, I don't care. Anything that just brought me out of that world that I was in. Any encouragement, enlightenment that I shared my story with, very few people have been very close. And the guidance that they gave me were like run, but it wasn't time yet. I wasn't on that. I had to get older and wiser. When I found out that I was a boss and a done daughter, and people really loved me and kept me, and they gonna show up for me. And I used to save those coins and pennies and change, add them up, put them in pounds, make them $1. I got your gas, come get me. That's that person they was raising. They thought that they was breaking me down, but they was creating a warrior, Wonder Woman, a God-fearing woman. Because the whole time, by me being introduced to God in church, even despite of what I went through with my mom, calling me a demon, Satan, I knew that God loved me. Because I always felt the love. I knew that I was appreciated. I was healthy. I was healthy. I was uncomfortable. But I was comfortable in my skin. I was comfortable with myself. I knew how much I could take. I knew how much I could dish in. Until I just finally broke. When I realized those people did not love me and did not have my back, and did not treat me like I would have treated my child, with just being aware of the surroundings of what's going on, then I knew it was time for me to get out of there. And don't get me wrong, I asked several times, can I leave and can I go back and live with my mom? And I would say no, to the point where I had to run away and they lied, like, you can go with your mom and come back home. Cap. Christmas came up, they tried to give me everything I wanted. I was stuck there. Because it was money. It was money involved the whole time. I was paying bills in that house. I was paying mortgages. I didn't even know it. And I don't want to hear, well, they had you, they're supposed to get that money, that's money for them. That money is not for you if you're abusing that person and taking advantage of the situation and not treating that person with love and care. I wasn't the freshest person in school. Ragdoll. We'll go shopping for school a week or two before school, get a little 4, 5, 7 outfits, and have to make it work until Christmas. And then alternate again. Bummy, real bummy. But my cousin who was in the room next to me, who was 3 years younger than me, He the freshest one in school. He went to war is how fresh he is. Neglect, abandonment. My hair, I had to try to keep it up myself. I was a stylist. You got my hair done a couple times, a few times, and you stop. It was not anything. It wasn't love. It wasn't genuine. It wasn't even like scheduled. I was already around other people and parents. I seen how a mom was supposed to treat a daughter. I had a mother, the upkeep. I hang around the boys majority of the time. I separated myself from my aunt and my girl cousin. It was just too much and toxic. And my girl cousin, I always used to try to like make her love me and do little nice things for her. Didn't work. She still traumatized and bullied me. And then she like, okay, I was wrong and this happened, but you can't choose your family. I can't choose my family. I won't disown my family because I never turn my back on where I came from. And I know my bloodline is blessed. My DNA is blessed. My grandma is blessed. We came from rich soil. But I will block whoever I need to. And I will continue to walk away from whoever I need to keep my peace and my dignity. Don't be one to cuss people out. Fuss at people. It's power in this tongue. This tongue speaks life, not death. So that little girl that they gave up on has healed and still healing, has conquered, overcame. She's a giant now. She has accomplished the person who I know that I am and the things that I'm capable of doing. It allows me to separate myself like solitary. Like from people, environment, from things that I just don't agree with, from things that I just can't get with, things I don't want to deal with, I don't want to hear. I've always been a boss. No, for real, I've always been a boss, no cap. And I've always been humble. When you're a boss and you're humble because you don't flex that you're a boss, you're a threat to society. But I'm telling you, I used to pray every day, even younger, for God to give me strength, to give me the ability, the knowledge, the wisdom, protection. I prayed for my family. I did get that experience when I got older with my sister and my mom, you know, just, and then us being reunited again, even though my mom was blind. My brother's still incarcerated. We haven't got that time with him yet. He's been locked up since 2009. It's coming. But I did get those things that I prayed for. I didn't get them how I wanted them, but I got it. And I got to see that it wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. I have literally fallen out with my sisters. With my sister, too many countless times, over nothing. We're not even talking right now. And we love each other. But my sister, she's like a blonde, you know? Like, she's very pretty, beautiful, like Barbie, but blonde. And I just don't have time for people jeopardizing what I have going on and my name and my friend, my livelihood. And with my mom, that love and that motherly life that I always just wanted, like just having your mother around and stuff like that. I got over that because my mom, I seen that she was not going to be able to provide the things that God was able to provide for me. Those tests and grades that I used to pass in school, I know it was God. To this day, if I take a test, I know God helped me. Because I always studied last minute. I always was that person that had all week to study, and I studied the day before the test. It's got to be fresh and memorize this. And then projects, I do them at the last minute, turning in. Safety. With the wrong friends, they shoot it. I'm safe and secure. I know it's God. It's that covenant. It wasn't luck. People just being fun of the person I was, being, you know, younger, just popular. But I hung with everybody. I don't care. Everybody. But they still show love. Gift me flowers, whatever. It don't matter. Birthdays, money, just that love and that favor. God was letting me know that I'm not alone. He never left me here to leave me or forsake me. I probably don't have a mom or a dad, even though they're walking on this earth and sitting on this earth, you know. God didn't want me to feel alone. He didn't want me to feel like he was taking me from something, because he was just bringing me out of a situation that was not good for me. It wasn't going to benefit me in no way, shape, or form. My mama always lived in the projects. Shout out to the projects. But if you can get better, then go better. Pick better. Don't settle. No matter how comfortable you are. It's like when they say people blow up and get this money when they go back to the hood. And then they always end up something happening to them. It's a time and a place, and it's a season. The season is over for that. If we did continue to grow up in the project, who would have known what would have happened to us to this day? With my mom being mentally unstable, I don't know. I don't want to know. Life is great. I'm blessed with a man that I love so dearly. I wouldn't have met him if I was not adopted. I met him in high school. So that's what I'm saying. Let your light shine in front of all men, all women. No matter what you have dealt with. When people see me, they don't even know they have. They never knew that story that I told you. It wasn't their business. My purpose is now here. I'm healed, and I'm going to continue to heal. But I want to just let those ones to know that who have dealt with that abandonment, neglect, or they're searching for their mom or their father or their parents are not treating them right. They're not receiving that love, or they're the black sheep of the family, or they are not just favorable, or their parents are jealous of them. There's a lot of mothers out there jealous of their daughters. My aunt, she had jealous tendencies of me all the time. She has said certain things that she think I don't know. I know to this day. That's wicked. I'm not gonna lie. You're supposed to look at me like a daughter and treat me like your own. Didn't happen. Stop competing with your children. It's weird. They didn't ask to be here. You brought them here. Dress them up. Put them on nice clothes. Comb their hair. Brush their hair. Support their hygiene. Teach them. And then some people, they just can't. And those people that just really don't have those people, love yourself. Give yourself the biggest hug. Pat yourself on the back and let yourself know you're going to be okay, because you're going to make sure you're okay. You have all the resources and tools, 2026, to be the person that you need to be, away from that demonic path that the devil tried to set for your life. You were ordained to win. And as long as you move according to God's will, you'll be okay and not lack. And you will walk into that land of milk and honey that is promised. God loved me first. That's the book of John. And I'm forever love him and worship him, regardless of what I went through. Those pain, those scars, it hurt. But I'm better and I'm happier. And I'm so glad that I grew up. I'm so glad. They say if you go back, would you go back to school? No. But education is knowledge and power. You can teach yourself a million ways. I'm not discrediting school at all. I was always smart. I never got held back. I'm not discrediting school. But what I'm saying is, don't waste your time on things that's not relevant to you and your life. Don't waste your time with friends that's not relevant to you and your life. If you don't like it, you don't agree with it, if it's something you want to do, don't do it. So, I want you to know how much I came and forgave that one person that I felt like she was supposed to be the head of my life. But really, she was just a creator of my life. And I am going to forever support anyone that has been in the foster care system or taken out of their home and placed with another guardian or legal guardian, and they don't have a voice, and they don't feel like anyone understands them, where they coming from, or it's something inside of them where they just feel like they just can't shake it or get rid of it. They don't know what's wrong with them, and they try to just do anything to take it away, even thoughts of suicide. And I want to just be that living witness to let you know that you're bigger than that. You're better than that. And if nobody loves you, God loves you. And even if you don't want to hear it, just know you don't let the enemy, the haters, the jealous ones, you don't let them win. You gain control of power over your own life. And you change those things that haunt you. You change it for yourself, for your future, and for someone else. Someone better, someone that's worth it. And even if you're experiencing anything heartbroken or heartbreak in a relationship, sometimes you have to realize that your path might not be for them, or their path might not be for you. You literally just have to soul search and find yourself, because we all were created for purpose. We're not just here every day to breathe and wake up and then disappear. God literally had plans for you the day you were born. He is the beginning and the end. And thank y'all for listening to my sad story. I'm on the floor. It's your girl, the real Kiki, and I have to keep it real and tell my testimony. The story have to be told. Good night. Oh, I didn't show y'all. Okay, yeah, they did turn up.